Okay, Conrad, let's have a look at this book. I know you've put some time into it. Mind map here. Around the outside, possibly having some visualizations or thoughts about visualizing um, or some of the ideas that you get to as you go around the outside of the book, of the mind map. You've got a lot of text here. It's detailed. It's has some subject-specific writing about it. It's thorough. It kind of speculates about what you may do with the pieces of work. It's at this point that we see the collages start to take place, and it'll be good to see more. I think this is a kind of key point where you're starting to um, create your own work. It uses color and collage and so on. So it's maybe something that is. It certainly seems like you use a lot of pencil and do kind of fine pencil work. It'd be nice to see some more use of colour and exploration of the scale of pieces of work too. You're starting to do it here. I think a double page, so a page out here, a fold out page, where you are uh, exploring this whole notion of collage and the surreal. So we've done a pencil drawing, or a couple of pencil drawings of this piece. And yes, again, useful thing to do, but we want to see also how you're interpreting and playing with the idea and remixing it, as well as observing. It's good to see some kind of experimentation now, a little bit more with the presentation. And I think again, it's been it's an interesting exercise to be reproducing something you've looked at, but possibly mind mapping off this and thinking, well, was the action a piece of work? Was it just the outcome, and so on? So there's a sort of purpose and a meaning behind the study of a piece in different medium. Um, Again, interesting little studies. I'd be um, I'd be inclined to start thinking in terms of extending the kind of the range of media, so that it becomes a broad range of media, and you're kind of choosing which medium to use to best extend the idea that you're developing. So getting into kind of unfamiliar territory, things which you're not necessarily going to be proficient at, is the thing to do, and to also demonstrate the sort of understanding that you have of the research, so that when you record, it's purposeful. It has a sense of direction to it. Even in an early experiment like this, it'd be nice to see how Gustav Metzger's work could come of this. And I know you've written about this to some extent in here and explored the possibilities of it. But I think maybe visual things, diagrams, having diagrams that are not necessarily highly polished drawings, but which serve the purpose of recording your thoughts in a sort of visual language, as well as the text. And so you can demonstrate how you have ways of doing visual recording for different purposes. Um, yeah, uh, again, choosing a drawing style and it kind of fitting in a way, the way you've chosen to draw. It'd be nice to see, perhaps for the National Gallery, maybe a very different kind of way of rendering, or kind of state of mind or character of the way you render the building, so that we're seeing a sort of kind of different flavour emerge, with different pages. For example, the colour here. This is a kind of a very tempting sort of insight into how the variety of work could extend, how the different outcomes could start to take shape. I mean, very lovely drawings, no question. Very fine, very subtle, and they're stamped with a kind of personal identity to them, as are the sculptures. And I like the way you've persisted with this a little bit. It would be useful to see if there's a way that you could perhaps even manipulate the colours or the way the light behave more, so that it would perhaps show a sort of a willingness to go and to go to places that you wouldn't necessarily expect with this particular idea. Okay, interesting documentation of plaster. Where is the outcome? I'm thinking of this. Where does this go after this interesting starting point? That's what we need to see. And then the George Siegel with some further mind maps. And then you have a proposal. So it's sort of the beginnings of something. It'd be nice to see how this starts to tie together what we've done so far, rather than being a kind of complete sort of bolt-on at the end. We want to see that you've arrived at something after a period of experimentation, that the pieces kind of add up, that the meaning as well as the techniques are somehow linked early on. I mean, perhaps it's something to do with something surreal or collaged or changing formats, or I think it kind of needs to be a for the experimentation in materials and ideas to develop a sense of purpose to them. So a sound start, but I would suggest use of colour, use of other techniques, take more chances, make things that kind of don't work. Use the photography more to explore a range of ways of documenting things you've made photographically, and different media I'd like to see on the Geoffrey Farmer piece, perhaps some cloth, some other kinds of accessories to build the character or the feeling of the place that you've of the piece that you've made. I think also the plaster, there's kind of several bits not quite tying in yet, and it's like they need to be more meaningful to you, those experiments, I think, so in some way, and so you need to kind of go back and make them more meaningful for the book to start to feel more of a sense of building. So please comment after I've posted this video. I'll also post a link to the information about the course and the links to all the photographs and so on and so forth.